This may be the most important message you have ever heard. Mary, the mother of Jesus, told the servants, whatever he tells you to do, do it. She was saying, I don't know what he will tell you, but whatever it is, don't question it. Just do it. I don't know a lot of things, but I do know my son. And I've learned from experience that whatever he tells you to do, you should do that. I don't care what it is. I don't know everything. I'm not super educated. I'm not a philosopher. But trust me, whatever he says, do it. That's how you win in life. You know, Jesus and his disciples were invited to a wedding, and at the wedding they ran out of wine. Mary, the mother of Jesus, told Jesus about the wine problem, to which Jesus said, I don't have anything to do with that. Then Mary, who knew her son well, said to the servants, whatever he tells you to do, do it. You should obey God no matter what he says, no matter how much you don't understand the command from God. Just do it. My objective is to encourage you to take a proverbial leap of faith and obey God. You'll be glad you did. Why should I just obey God? Because when you obey God, miracles happen. The interesting thing is Mary's insight concerning her son. Mothers are very insightful concerning their children, especially their sons. Much in the same way, wives are insightful of their husbands. Mary knew that all she had to do was mention the problem to Jesus, and Jesus would make something happen to solve the problem. Remember the woman who had great faith? Jesus told her that it was not proper to take the children's bread and give it to the dogs. But she persisted, and Jesus said, "O woman, great is your faith. Have it your way." Jesus had and does have a soft heart of kindness for us all. That's good news, because for all you know, he may do the miraculous for you. Just ask him. Yes, I'm saying that Jesus may perform a miracle for us if we just ask. Jesus showed us the compassion of God when he turned their water into wine. What things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who seeks finds. And to him who knocks, the door shall be open to him. Remember, you have not because you ask not. But here's the thing. When you ask God for something, be listening, because he's going to give you instructions. You know, that's the important thing. Whatever he says to you, do it. A lot of people ask God for something, but they're not listening. So they're not prepared to do anything. Mary told Jesus about the problem, but she knew Jesus would ask them to get involved in the process. Mary told Jesus and went to the servants and said, I've told my son about the problem, and he may ask you to do something that seems strange. But whatever he says to you, do it. I'm paraphrasing to make a point. Asking is our part, but obeying is our other part. We must do both parts, the asking and the obeying. Naaman the leper asked the prophet to cleanse him of his leprosy. But the prophet asked Naaman to go and wash 7 times in the Jordan River. Naaman made a big fuss because of the prophet's instructions, but at the advice of one of Naaman's servants. Naaman finally obeyed because our obedience is a necessary part of our being delivered by God. You know, I remember many years ago when I was pastoring and I was sleeping on the floor of the church. I was sleeping on the floor of the church I was pastoring. I remember searching for an apartment, but the only ones that my credit would get me were old rundown apartments. I remember riding down the street worrying about the situation because I was tired of paying money for application fees. And the Spirit said, "Where do you want to live?" At the time, I was passing by the most lovely townhomes on that side of town. And I said to the Spirit, "I would like to live right there." He told me to go the next day and apply. I thought, there's no way. I thought, well, maybe I could get a cosigner, but the Lord said no cosigner. So I applied and paid almost triple the application fee. They said the wait would be 3 weeks. I knew they had a waiting list, but I felt they were stalling just to take my application fee. I endured a tremendous faith fight. And to my surprise, they approved me, but said they needed a week to get the place ready. I figured they would do more checking and reject me, taking my application fee. But glory be to God. I got the place and I started living in the most prestigious address around. The next week, I performed the wedding ceremony of the property manager around the swimming pool. I'm telling you, whatever he says to you, do it. Remember, this is personal. When God gives you some strange instructions, don't consult with flesh and blood. Don't ask people to confirm what you clearly heard from God. Galatians 1:15 says, "But when it pleased God who separated me from my mother's womb and called me by his grace to reveal his Son in me, that I might preach him among the heathen, immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood." When God speaks to you by his Spirit, remember, other people did not hear what you heard. So whatever he says to you, do it. In the name of Jesus, you won't let others talk you out of doing what you heard God tell you to do. I understand that in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. And there's nothing wrong with consulting with those who have oversight. But when you have a clear instruction from God or his word, whatever he says, do it. If this message has blessed you, share it, subscribe, and watch some of my other faith-building messages. Remember, It's a sin when you don't win.